Welcome back to Me.Meditation. I'm your visual aid, your guide, your mother meditator, Melissa, and today we will be doing part 2 where we take our goal or idea or experience that we want to strive towards and put it down into a practical step-by-step approach, making it a little more simplified and digestible and realistic for you to actually attain. So if you haven't watched the previous episode prior to figuring out that goal, then come up with that goal right now or go back and watch that video and then get into a comfortable seated position with either pen or paper or your phone or computer, wherever you want to kind of keep it on record. And we're going to go through this process in real time together. Okay, so I'm going to use the same example as I used in the last episode of the goal being to get a job or to get a new job. Okay, and I'm going to use two very different types of jobs on either end of the spectrum. So I'm going to use the example of wanting to become a lawyer, which is a very step-by-step educational government type of position that's a little bit easier and linear. And then I'm going to use a more creative approach such as becoming a musician. So first, write down at the top your goal that you want to accomplish or head towards experiencing. Okay, and then for the first step, we're going to ask ourselves if we've ever experienced this before. So what I mean by that is, let's take my lawyer example. If I want to become a lawyer, have I even seen what a lawyer does in a day? Have I been around a lawyer? Have I had an interaction or an experience having my own lawyer before? Yes, we see what lawyers do on TV or portray on TV, but have we actually experienced it in the real world? So if not, then my suggestion for your step 1 would be to shadow a lawyer for a day. And you could do this many ways. You could cold call, meaning look up lawyers' offices in the area around you, call them up and ask if you could shadow one of the lawyers for a day, and hopefully they will be open to allowing a bright mind to come through their doors and learn and see what being a lawyer would be all about. And even if you're not a student, if you're a little bit older in your years or changing gears, then it should be a little easier to advocate for yourself and talk to the lawyer's office people. So I would do that. I would make a call, I would schedule a shadow day, and just follow in the footsteps of a currently active working lawyer. One that maybe has to go to court, or one that is in the office all day, so you get a realm of both sides of what they do. And then if you wanted to become a musician, first narrow that down. What does that mean to you? There's so many different types of musicians out there. Do you want to play an instrument? Do you want to be in a band? Do you want to be a solo artist? Do you want to be part of an orchestra professionally, or a professional band of some sort? Do you want to work in a studio where you do the music or composing for movies? Like, what kind of musician do you want to be? Playing an instrument, creating the music, like the beats? Do you want to be on the computer doing beats? Do you want to write your own lyrics or songs? Do you want to be a composer where you're playing multiple instruments? So what type of musician, first of all, kind of narrow that down. And again, if you haven't had any experience with it, right, let's say you don't even own the instrument that you want to attempt to play, then I would go to a music studio or call a music store and ask to be able to try out that instrument or play it, or maybe rent out that instrument for a day, and see if you can get a feel for it. If you would, that would be something that you're interested in learning more of or diving into or not. And if you already know exactly what you want to do with it and what you'd want to play, or if you want to sing, etc., or if you want to become part of a band, looking out for local, like going online and researching local ads for frontmans or bands, and I'm sure there's specific websites for musicians out there that you can go on to, and kind of fish out starting the process of meeting people or socializing. And if you can't find anything out online, then I would go to the hangouts where people of musical background would be. So going to concerts in the type of genre that you like and talking to whoever you can. So that's the crew, if that's some of the bandmates, if that's the club owner where they're playing, just try and get some information and start networking with people in that realm. But online's a great way to do it if you are a little timid and scared to do that face-to-face with people. Okay, so then after you've done your shadow work, you kind of narrow down, hone in on exactly what it is specifically. So let's say you shadowed your lawyer for a day and you love a day in the life of a lawyer, what they do. Next would be to look into doing a little bit of research, how much school you would need to take, or because you have to pass your bar exam, right? Looking into all the certifications and the exams you have to pass to become one. So what avenues or options are out there? Maybe you can take some online courses and then take the test by yourself, or you can go full-blown education system, back to school. Maybe you can take online courses and do it part-time while you are doing other things in your life if you're busy. But just start to write down your options. And step 2 could be just researching, right? Cost of online courses versus going back to school, etc. Okay, so that would be your step 2, to kind of look into what's the best option for you, either financially or time-wise, schedule-wise, etc. For the musician, if you were step 2 would be starting to do that thing. So if you are playing an instrument and you don't have that instrument, let's take steps on how to get that instrument. How much money would you have to save, right? How much money would you have to save? Or could you start a GoFundMe page? Or do you have any access to family members that you could borrow? Start to think of different options of how to get your hands on the equipment that you need. Or again, if you could go to a studio or rent. And then once you have that instrument or you have your avenue, then start practicing, right? Just start to play, start to practice, and continue to do your networking, right? So step 3, start to practice. Step 2, try and get that instrument, right? Or get that team together. If you got a band together, get the band together. Start to just talk about ideas, maybe jam out. Back to the lawyer, after you've figured out your finance timeline, right? Let's start to think realistically whenabouts you would be able to start, or if you have to apply for like a student loan or something like that. That's a whole nother thing, applying for student loans. That could take you a few hours. So I would schedule some time to do that on a night. And write down a time that you can do that. And then for the musician side, right? As soon as you start to practice, as soon as you start to network, as soon as you start to meet these new people, right? things are gonna just kind of fall more into place. But it's like those first three steps are gonna be the most challenging to do, right? Step one, looking up local bands or looking up local concerts that you can go to and getting the nerve to talk to people. That's gonna be a big step one. And for a lawyer, shadowing for a day, that's gonna really give you a good idea if this is something that you will be enjoying and want to do and dedicate your time and focus and hard work into accomplishing. So yeah, and then everything else from there just kind of falls into place, and you kind of learn as you go, and you take little baby steps from there. You know, if you get a setback, like if you have a financial setback, you take little baby steps on how to continue moving forward and saving for something. If you have like a life thing that happens or obstacle that comes about that you have to deal with first, you know, you still have this to come back to and making baby strides and baby steps towards. So just write down and flow the rest of your ideas that are coming up right now on steps that you can take to make things happen. And then let's write down the end goal, what that looks like for you. So if you're going for a lawyer, do you want your own law firm? Do you want to work with a partner? Do you want to be partner to like a team of other lawyers? And in the current place that you're at, or do you want to move? Is there like a better area where lawyers are higher in numbers, or in a better area that you want to live, or where there's not many lawyers and you want to start a firm? Just kind of figure out the end result, where you want to end up physically, and what that looks like for you, whether that's you owning your own firm or being part of a different firm, and researching different firms and which ones look most appealing to you. And for a musician, what is your end goal there? Do you want to be touring? Do you want to be famous? Do you want to do it as a side hobby while you continue doing your other things in life? And where are you if you're not touring? Do you want to be a local band somewhere? Do you want to be, again, part of like a orchestra? Do you want to be in the movie industry? Then, you know, that's going to be in, you know, designated areas where more movies are made. So yeah, thinking about that kind of stuff, that end goal of where you want to be and the level of success, I guess you could say, that you want to get to. And then we're just going to set everything aside. And we're just going to throw away all that stress and overwhelm and the brain thoughts that can come with overthinking of all of the steps and how the mountain's so high to get there, and whatever else we tell ourselves, the negative thought loops, and I can't do this because of blah, 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 blah. We're just gonna release what we just wrote down, because it's out in the universe now, and it's down on paper and in your phone or on your computer, and it's there. So the forethought is there. And now we're just going to think about the end results of how we want to feel and what our life is going to look like once we accomplish this goal. Because again, your goal might not be to get a new job. I just used the example of a new job, but whatever that goal was that you set, we're just going to think about now and really feel into what that feels like once we're there and we have the thing, or if your goal is to literally climb a mountain, what is it going to feel like when you're on top of that mountain once you've climbed? So let's take a deep breath together. Let's get into our comfortable seated position, and let's just visualize and meditate on that. So inhale and exhale. Inhale. think about that moment that we are striving to get to. And we've made it. We're there. We're doing the thing. We're in the environment we want to be. We're experiencing the love we want to feel. We're at the dream job. Really look around you and soak in all the elements. So if there are a bunch of people around you cheering or clapping, hear that clapping. See all the faces looking up at you. If it's you in your dream job in your office, you're on what level of the building? What's your view out your window? Are you seeing down into a whole city? Is it a bright sunny day? Is the sun shining and you have just a magnificent view? Are you in the arms of the love of your life, looking deep into their eyes as you hold each other in an embrace? Are you pushing out a child that you've carried for 9 months, feeding, sleeping, struggling through? And you finally get to hold your baby. Are you at the adoption agency and you finally get to take home your forever best friend? Whatever that epitome is, just really feel into the environment, all the elements around you. And inhale. Inhale a little more. And exhale. If your mind has started to drift back into the negative, let's come back to our breath and feel back into what we want to accomplish, what our goal is. We're there. We're in the moment. We've accomplished it. We've arrived. Take a deep breath. And feel that excitement at the same time that you feel that relief. And slowly open your eyes. to consciousness. Take a deep breath and just feel how your body feels now. That is within you. That accomplishment, that goal, that moment, it's all within you, and it can be accomplished, and you can do it, and you can get there, and you will. Just keep coming back to your breath and feel into that moment that you want to feel once you get there, and know that you can, and just keep going. And inhale. And exhale. Let it all go. Wiggle your body around, move, shift it, let it out, let it all out. Shake it out. Thank you for joining me this evening and starting the process of making that goal a reality with the practical step-by-step. And I have some more videos on this in the future to go along with it, so tune in. And until next time, thank you for joining me. Namaste.